Today I was at Livingston Mall in Livingston, New Jersey, and there the lemonade was flowing, the hot dogs were cooking, and some corn dogs got busted.
How are you? Ya nomás, ya.
You know, I visit restaurants every day, and I see so many opportunities for people to make more money. And for some reason, they don't want to spend the money. I mean, they spend a lot of money up front by building it, but then to run it, they don't want to spend the money. They'll hire a manager that's really a cook, you know, and a really good cook. But instead of paying them $8 an hour to be a cook, you know, they give them a set of keys and $10 an hour. So, you know, it's a nice raise for that person. And, you know, they think they have a manager. What ends up happening is they don't run the restaurant properly. Well, number one, they're cooking most of the time because that's what they know how to do. They don't really know how to make an order, the food order. I had an operator tell me today his food cost was 45%. That's almost impossible in a fast food restaurant. A lot of things could be going on with 45% food cost. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is, you know, does he have a silent partner? But then I look at who's running the restaurant, and it may not surprise me that food could be going out the back door before it's even cooked. Well, cooked food really shouldn't be going out the back door. But what I'm saying is, you know, they probably have somebody stealing stuff. But if it's that big of a deal, it's not them shoving cash in their pocket. You know, it's maybe selling cases of chicken. Or even, you know, things like paper towels and cases of toilet tissue. There's a lot of things that a dishonest manager can hire or can order and then resell it to somebody else in the restaurant business. Or take it home. Now you can hire a manager for the going wage, whatever that is in your area. And they may steal from you as well. So the mismanagement is more likely to happen with the cook that you gave a $2 raise to and a set of keys. Don't wait for your food costs though to run that high before you know you have an issue. That's one of the problems too with these operators. They don't watch the books. You gotta watch everything. You gotta watch, you know, are there overrings in your register? Are there a lot of voids? If there are, you know, are they accounting for them? People make mistakes. They have to void orders out. But you need to make sure you have the corresponding receipts that show the justification for that void and what did they re-ring in its place. They can't be just giving money back to people all the time. It's all about accountability. I was visiting a restaurant recently and I noticed on their menu board the prices were really odd. Like, you know, something was $3.81. So when I was watching the transactions, I discovered that it was coming out to an even number with tax. So there's an indicator. Sometimes if a manager is allowed to manipulate the pricing in the restaurant, and there's operators, they don't really pay attention to that stuff because they're investors. You know, they work someplace else and they bought a couple restaurants and they hire some guy for $10 an hour to run them. So the price is even, so they can not bring it in. And they can remember, just tell the customer $4.95 or whatever it is. And at the end of the day, they take out what is, well, what they think is theirs. Look, if you pay someone a fair wage, you know, they're less likely to steal from you anyway. but that doesn't mean they won't. But you still have to watch for it. You still have to hold managers accountable. You have to make sure that if you have a cash register operation, that there's not 5 people responsible for that till. One person
Police
at a time.
reported ahead.
I gotta watch now. The police are right ahead of me now. Well, if you have more than one person operating a cash drawer, then at the end of the day, when it's $12 short, who's responsible? And I don't mean responsible in the sense that they have to pay the money back. That's illegal. I mean responsible and accountable, meaning that if it's a training issue, you need to show that person how to count change or correct whatever it is that may have made them make that mistake. Or if it's an honesty issue, you'll find that out eventually in other ways. But you need to have a write-up in their file and have a record of this cash shortage so they understand that you pay attention to these things and that they matter to you. A trained thief will rob you blind, but they'll do little things up front to kind of test you. So the clever thieves will rob you blind. So really what I'm trying to say is if you're going to spend, $300,000 to build a restaurant and a food court at a mall and pay another 10 grand a month rent, hire a manager that'll run the place for you. Pay somebody to run the place, so at least if the restaurant fails, it's not because you ran it poorly. It's because you probably should have not went into a mall's food court, especially this day and age. Bad move. Most of these malls are not a good place. You'll lose a lot of money. There is a lot of money to be made in the restaurant business, in particular the fast food industry, but it's not, it's not cookie cutter. You can't just open it up and hire somebody to run it and expect to just sit back and roll in the dough. That happens for a lot of people, but most people it does not. So if you're going to invest in a restaurant, make sure part of that investment is paying a professional to run it for you.